जय जय श्री राधे। सभी को राधे राधे है। और जैसा कि हमने आज एक इवेंट थ्रू किया है, सभी से रिक्वेस्ट है कि जुड़े और इवेंट के जो बात है वो हम कैसे जान सकते हैं कि ग्रैंड फैक्ट्स क्या क्या है हमारे माता रानी के हर एक स्वरूप में। तो कोर ऑफ माई हार्ट फ्रॉम द राधा में परिवार, आई एम वेलकमिंग टू सोमादी, डॉक्टर सोमा दत्ता।
Good evening, good evening.
Good evening, good evening.
Good evening from Kolkata and West Bengal.
Thank you so much. आप आए, everyone is waiting for you to know the facts of Kolkata, grand facts of Ma Kali in the temple of Dakshineswar from the West Bengal. And today is the Rath Yatra also. It is a very important and a very phenomenal day, which we are not going to be select the day. The day is selected by the God. And I am so grateful that you are here to discuss and explain all the things about the Rani Rashmani and everything. So we will start. Over to you and just start all the things. A warm
Thank you
welcome
very
from the
much.
Radha Maidan.
Thank you very much, Chitra Madam. This is such an auspicious day, and it is such a coincidence that I call it that it is divine ordained. Why do I call it like divine ordained? Talking on the day of Rath Yatra on the lady called Rani Rashmani and the temple at Dakshineshwar. Now this Kali temple at Dakshineshwar, it has been patronized by Rani Rashmani. Now Rani Rashmani, when she patronized this temple, she was a widow. What mattered was this propertied widow who had inherited the property from her husband after he died in 1830, the same year, when our Ramakrishna was born. This lady called Rani Rashmani, she is Shudra by birth. And in a caste-ridden society like India, it was only the privilege of Brahmin men, especially the zamindars, to patronize a Kali temple. It was worship of feminine power, goddess Kali, and it repositioned them in the society because it created their identity. The Rani Rashmani is the first woman, the first widow, and a Shudra woman to patronize a Kali temple at Dakshineswar in West Bengal. Now, all those who are familiar with Tantra, Shastra, they will appreciate the fact that any land which is like the back of a tortoise is said to be an auspicious place according to Tantra. And our temple at Dakshineswar is built at this place. Now, coming back to the connection of Rani Rashmani with Benares, the divine idea to patronize a Kali temple arrived on her tour to Benares. Rani Rashmani, the propertied widow, she loved public relations. She loved developing networking. So she used to travel to various places. And on her tour to Benares, she was stopped because there was a storm. And since she had to stop her travel to Benares, she had a dream. And in her dream, she heard that she has to patronize a Kali temple in Bengal. So there is such a wonderful connection between Bengal, Rani Rashmani, and the Kali temple that we have at Dakshineswar, patronized by a woman. The religious connection between Bengal and Benares dates back much farther, with another women temple patron called Rani Bhavani. The Durga Mandir was patronized by her. There are Shiva temples which Rani Bhavani has made. And the road from Bengal to Benares is also being financed by Rani Bhavani. Now, what is the connection between Rani Bhavani and Rani Rashmani? Rani Bhavani died in the year 1804, and Rani Rashmani was just a kid then because she was born in the year 1793. Now, coming back to the fact, why do I say that this day of Ratha Jatra, when I'm talking on Rani Rashmani and the Kali temple, it is important because Rani Rashmani, who was born at a place called Hali Shahor, was married at an early age of 11. She traveled from Hali Shahor to Kolkata, and it was a property family where she got married. So a lot of adjustment that she had to make after her marriage. But she had a husband, Ramchandra Das, who would listen to her. So once when she went out with him, she saw people in distress. That is how Babu Ghat, which is a cremation ground that was being built by Babu Chandra Das on the request of Rani Rashmani. Before Rani Rashmani initiated this, there was no place where people coming to a cremation ground could sit and rest. Even today, if we go to Babu Ghat, we will see this wonderful arrangement there. Now, after the sudden demise of Babu Chandra Das, Rani Rashmani, who had 4 daughters, and 2 daughters died before Ramchandra Das died. There were two daughters. They were married, of course. She developed a religious attitude, and she got immersed in a lot of religious activities at her home at Jan Bajar, Kolkata. Now, in 1836, he made Hamilton and Company manufacture a silver chariot. And this silver chariot was taken out into the street, just the way we see at Puri, and people go to Puri and see the way the chariots are going. Puri is one place where we talk of Balaram, Subhadra, Jagannath, and we speak of the Ratha Jatra. But there was a replica of that which was being done by Rani Rashmoni. Now, Rani Rashmoni, who had property, who used to perform puja of women goddess at her home, and used to travel on her own to various places, this Rani Rashmoni, she, by patronizing a Ratha Jatra, making a silver chariot, she established her connection with the public space. Now, all of us who understand and appreciate the concept of space, we know that space is all about freedom. And there was very strict demarcation where the domestic front was being called the private space, also the feminine space, and there was the public space, which is outside. It has been called the masculine space. Rani Rashmoni, who was active in the private feminine space of her home, she, with this Ratha Jatra, came out and established a space for herself in the male-dominated public space also. It gave her satisfaction, it repositioned her family and the English people. Till that time, the transfer of power did not take place, but there was the British East India Company officials who were in Calcutta then, and these people, they were so charmed by the procession, the grandeur, and the arrangement, and the public relations and the hospitality that she showed to the people, that they were all happy, mesmerized, pleased, and surprised. And these English people, they said that Rani Rashmoni reminds us of Rani Bhavani of Barangarh. And Rani Bhavani also was a woman temple patron. Now, there's a difference between Rani Bhavani and Rani Rashmoni. Rani Rashmoni is a Shudra woman who patronized temple. So what she did is something revolutionary. Rani Bhavani was a Brahmin woman and wife and later a widow of a zamindar. But for Rani Rashmoni, it was the zamindari system through which they actually purchased their position, but she sustained that position. So whenever we are talking of Rani Rashmoni and her courage and Benares, there is a lot of cross-reference that we will be having with Rani Bhavani. And with Rani Bhavani and Durga Mandir, of course, all people at Benares, they are very familiar. Now, coming back to this Kali temple, when Rani Rashmoni in 1847 had this dream, and in the dream she saw that someone is telling her to patronize a Kali temple in West Bengal, and that was undivided Bengal. She first tried to do it at Hali Shahor, the place where she was born. She was not allowed to purchase the land, and after that, the person returned her the money, saying that the Brahmin Pandits of the period, they are annoyed and upset that a Shudra widow would patronize a Kali temple. Then she went to Bhatpara. Bhatpara then was the seat of Sanskrit learning, and it had lot of Brahmin people there. These Brahmin Pandits did not allow her to purchase a land. Now, what we see over here, both from the religious standpoint and also from the gender standpoint, that she was a propertied woman. She had vocal, educated sons-in-law also. Yet, she could not purchase the land with the money that she had. So it was gender discrimination which actually stopped her from selecting places of her own desire. But as we all say, that if God ordains and if God willing, there is no power that can stop. Rani Rashmani, who was then residing at Jan Bajar, Kolkata, wanted to patronize the temple at Uttarpara. Now, there is a saying going that if you have a temple which is on the east side of Ganges, then your place, whichever it is, you are near to Benares, or that place is considered as Benares. Now, at Uttarpara also, she was denied the land, so she could not patronize it. There also, she could not build the temple. Yes, yes,
और इनकी
yes, ma'am.
दोस्तों camera is blurred.
Blurred.
Shuma, हाँ, little bit just wipe down the camera. The face is going to look some people blur.
Okay. Now is that all right? Yes, I can see that someone has written that the camera is blurred.
Oh,
Okay. Now do you think it's better?
No, it's blurred. Still blurred.
It is still blurred?
Still blurred.
Okay, let me make it brighten. Let's see.
Only just wipe out the camera. The camera, where is the camera's location is there, just wipe out the camera with the cloth.
Okay. Right.
The cotton cloth, just wipe out the camera.
Okay. Okay. Should I carry on?
Yeah, you can carry on.
But yes, I don't know why the camera is getting blurred. But the camera is getting blurred, yes. Is this a better position to see?
Little bit better.
Better?
Little bit better. Not completely
Okay.
better.
Okay, right. Okay. So I continue?
Yeah, continue.
Okay. So when she did not get a land at Hali Shahor where she wanted to patronize a temple, and she did not get the land at Bhatpara because the Brahmins did not allow, and that was also the problem at uh, Uttarpara. What happened was she was determined, and she was determined to buy a plot of land, to patronize a temple, but there was resistance, lot of resistance that was going on. And then what happened as God intervened, and I call that as God intervened, that is what happens if we are persistent in what we are trying to get. James Hist, a person who had bought a piece of land at Dakshineswar to construct a match factory, was traveling back to England, and Rani Rashmoni purchased that land. And that is the land where we actually see the temple now. We go and visit the temple there. Now, there were resistance raised by the Brahmin Pandits. Here, what happened? There was no more resistance of Brahmin Pandits because the land was purchased from an Englishman. So the Hindu Pandits could not. Now, after the land was being purchased, there was the construction which was going on. And this construction was being supervised by her son-in-law, Mothur Mohan Vishwas. Now, this Mothur Mohan Vishwas and Ramchandra Atta, the two son-in-laws, the first daughter and the youngest daughter's husband, they kept on telling people, and there was a connivance with the lawyer. They were trying to project that this temple is their brainchild, and there was hardly any mention of Rani Rashmoni, her desire and her struggle. Because at that time there were not much of media like now who could actually cover every minute. But Rani Rashmoni took support of media only. In 1850, in the newspaper called Samachar Darpan, came out an insertion initiated by Rani Rashmoni, and she wrote there in the insertion that she has taken the initiative to patronize a Kali temple, and the property and the money belongs exclusively to her. There were no word against her daughters or sons-in-law, but people got the message. Globally, women education is said to be a stepping stone towards women empowerment and women freedom. In Bengal, 1850 is said to be the year when officially the first school for women started, a girl child started, and it continued. What we should remember also, that there were sporadic efforts at various parts of Bengal to patronize temples and also to start schools. But in 1850, the first school started, and Rani Rashmoni signed the property deal for the temple in 1848. So if we actually call education to be one important factor for women's freedom, we should also pay respect that how a woman who tried and succeeded in patronizing a Kali temple also can be considered to be an empowered woman. Now, Rani Rashmani is not only an empowered woman, she is a woman who created her own space, and this space we call to be the feminine space. She said that this land belongs to her. And then she wanted a particular size for the idol. Jagadeshwari, as it was initially named, and later the name by which we know now, Bhavatarini. So Bhavatarini Kali is the name of the Kali.
Just
Yes.
once you explain this thing in Hindi also, if it is possible, as you feel, please.
Suchitra ma'am, you have to help me. I can speak in English. You may translate it into Hindi because you are
Yeah,
expert
I
in the
will
language.
do only this part, just the Bhavatarani part, just only this part. How do it come? Uh,
Uh,
how will it
okay.
come like Bhavatarani? Only this part, this much part. Only.
I'll speak in English. You speak then in Hindi. That will be better
Okay.
because you will be using appropriate
Okay.
words now.
Okay.
See, when this temple was first, this idol was built, if we visit Dakshineswar Kali temple now, the deity, the idol that we will see, we will call it to be Bhavotarini. Now, Bhavotarini is a name which was being given by its second priest, Ramakrishna. Initially, when the temple was being built and it was consecrated, it was named Jagadeshwari. And we'll also keep in mind that the idol maker, someone again is saying that someone can't see the face. Yeah, I'm sorry why this is happening, but someone has to excuse me. Maybe the
Yeah,
look
so you just take that cotton cloth and just wipe out the just in front of you the camera is there, no? Camera lens is there. Just wipe out that one.
okay. Yeah, now is that okay? Is it okay? I'm very sorry that it's continuously getting blurred and there's some sort of a problem which is happening. Let me continue, please. And you'll talk on Jagadeshwari. Okay. Now,
Yeah, continue.
yeah, the person who made this idol, Nobin Bhaskar of Navadvip, it was also his wish to name it as Bhavatarini. So, there is not only the idol, but there is this change in name of a goddess from Jagadeshwari to Bhavatarini. Okay, Suchitra ma'am, you may translate this portion into Hindi
Yes,
for
it's
the
okay.
benefit.
Please continue. Already it's written. Please continue. As from your voice, it is going continue.
Okay, right. I continue. Okay, now this the entire journey of building the temple at Dakshineshwar is beset with lot of challenges. First, there was the challenge of getting a land. The Shudra woman, she was not getting land because of the Brahmin Pandits and Zamindars. Ultimately, she got it from an Englishman. So the Brahmins could not actually stop her from buying the land from an Englishman. Now, when the process of idol building took place, there was the best sculptor of the period, Nobin Bhaskar. He was invited to do. Nobin Bhaskar came over, and we have to keep it in mind that the idol that we see, the deity that we see at Dakshineshwar called Bhavutari Ninau, this is the third creation of Nobin Bhaskar. The first one that he built, Rani Rashmoni, did not like it. She disapproved, so it was taken by the Gohos of Calcutta, and it was being placed in their Shiv temple at Hedua. The second one that was being built was also disapproved by Rashmoni. This idol can be seen at the Kripamoy Kali temple at Pramanik Ghat, and this Pramanik Ghat to Dakshineshwar is about a 30 minutes walking distance. The third idol, both the shape and the size, met approval of Rani Rashmoni. So what we understand that at a period when there was gender discrimination, there was caste-based discrimination, and there were male versions which were said to be appropriate, and they were almost the final version, Rani Rashmoni could challenge them. She challenged people in terms of the property. She challenged in terms of the idol. And whom did she challenge? She challenged Nobin Bhaskar, who was the best sculptor of the period. Now, after the temple construction was over, and it is called a Navaratna temple, this 9 spires that we see, it was a very popular structure of that period. It was rampant, and it can also be seen today at Bardhaman and also at Bishnupur. Both places, there are other places, but I name these two places because these places also have women temple patrons, but they basically patronized Radha Krishna. They did not patronize any Kali temple. Now, the major difference between the temple at Dakshineshwar, which is also, yes, the Navaratna temple at Bardhaman, and the temple which we see at Dakshineshwar and the Navaratna temples or the Ratna temple, there are also 13 spires, there are 26 spires, and so what happened was, this is made of brick and cement. The others are terracotta temple. So her creation actually was a step away and separate from which other temple patrons created. So the Navaratna temple was complete. it was built, the uh, the Jessup Company of the period, they had built it. The idol was there, but there wasn't any puja in the temple. In 1854, it was over, and for 1 year till 1855, the idol, the deity, could not be consecrated. Now, why? Because Rashmani had her own condition. She said, I want to employ a Brahmin priest, and that Brahmin priest will stay in the temple premises and follow the rules of puja as I state. Now, the interesting part is not one Brahmin priest agreed to it. Why? Because that was a practice. We may call the practice to be ego also, but that was a practice that these people, they were independent professionals. They decided when they would go to perform a puja, and they could choose their own remuneration. But for Rani Rashmani, she wanted them to accept and sign a letter of employment. And no one agreed to it. But again, when God wants and God willing, everything happens. And her youngest son-in-law, Mothur Mohan Bishwash, he was in frantic search. He had sent up this message to everyone that why don't you please get a priest for the temple? My mother-in-law needs it. Then comes in Ram Kumar Chattopadhyay. Ram Kumar Chattopadhyay of Potolpur. Ram Kumar, which is away towards Vishnupur, and we are also familiar with places like Joyrambati, Kamarpukur, which are the birthplaces of Ram Krishna and Ram Kumar. Now this Ram Kumar Chattopadhyay, he agreed because during this time he was a Sanskrit teacher tutoring at a Sanskrit toll. Now his earnings were meager. To him, this was a very lucrative offer. And what he did, he said, I will sign on the letter of employment. I will stay within the temple premises and I'll perform puja. When Ram Kumar Chattopadhyay expressed his desire, his younger brother, Godadhar Chattopadhyay, whom all of us know as Ramakrishna Paramahansadev, he was very upset. He said, how could it be that into a temple patronized by a Shudra woman, my Brahmin brother goes and accepts the letter of employment and he agrees to perform the puja and consecrate the deity. But Ram Kumar needed the money, and Ram Kumar, who was also a Sanskrit Pandit, he knew that the desire of Rani Rashmani was not unjust. And all that he was trying to do was trying to perform puja for a goddess. He was not performing puja for Rashmani. So as an educated man, he could make the two very clearly distinct. And then the first puja and consecration took place in May 1855. There are stories which goes and says that Godadhar, the younger brother, was upset. He did not eat anything on the first day when the temple inauguration took place. But later, he joined as the Beshkar of the temple, and Beshkar of the temple means he was the one who used to adorn Jagadeshwari then and Bhavatarini now. That was his association with the temple. After 1 year, it's 1856, Ram Kumar, on his way back to Kotolpur to meet his family, met with a road accident and he died. So the temple was without a priest. Rani Rashmoni, the 8th administrator, approached Godadhar and told him that we promote you from the position of a Beshkar to a priest. And you are being renamed as Ramakrishna, and you have to accept and sign this letter of employment. Ramakrishna agreed. So Rashmoni not only gave us the Kali temple, but Rashmoni also gave us Ramakrishna Paramhansadev. Ramakrishna Paramhansadev defined and redefined and impacted our perception of women. Ramakrishna, as the ardent pujari of Bhavatarini, performed his puja well, and he had a childlike intimacy with the goddess. It is being said and it is being recorded that for many times there were people who could see that he's chiding, he's scolding the deity. He is offering food to the deity and eating the same food just the way that mother and a son does in our everyday life that we see. Now, this Ramakrishna, what he did, he was not only a pujari, he was a man with lofty ideas, smart simplicity in today's management term, if we can use it, because he was simple, but with a very, very smart approach. But what he did was, he built networks. There were people who used to come to meet him at the Dakshineswar temple. So he was almost like a public relations personality who not only met people, but he also popularized and made this temple at Dakshineswar a place of worthy visit. Now, there's only one person with whom he went and visited, and that was also a person of immense repute during that time, who was called Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. Now, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar was an educationist. He was instrumental in starting the first women's school in Calcutta. Ramakrishna actually went and met him at his own place. All others came to meet him. And for Ramakrishna, he was not only a priest, but he was a person who actually interacted with people in such a way that he made us understand that caste oriented or caste-based discrimination and differences are not to be believed, because these are only occupation-based differences and not in terms of humankind. Now, as it goes, that Ramakrishna, who loved women, who respected women irrespective of their caste and occupation, had a very close liaison with the theatre expert of the period called Girish Ghosh. And Girish Ghosh is a person whom India and the world also remembers, because he also created a birth for women. He allowed women to keep aside whatever their identity by birth has been. He came and introduced them as actor. So we stop talking of these women from the standpoint of their identity by birth. Most of them were daughters of prostitutes. But Girish Ghosh allowed us to appreciate them as women, actors who were skilled. Ramakrishna went to see a play shortly before he died, and he died in the year 1886. When he went to see the play, it was being acted by, the lead actor was Binodini Dashi. Binodini Dashi, for those who are familiar with Bengal theatre, appreciates her because she is a theatre entrepreneur. She had actually patronized a theatre hall, which is called Star Theatre. And again, this Star Theatre is also a story of women discrimination. That is another chapter. We'll come back later. Now, Ramakrishna sat through the entire play, saw how she acted, and then prostrated, actually touched her feet. And the entire hall was awestruck. So was Binodini. And then he stood up and he said, "In you I see the goddess. I see goddess Kali in you, Binodini. You are not only an actor. It's your skill that opened my eyes, which enlightens me, and I see you." And what is important is this. Since then, 1886, reoriented our perception towards these women theatre actors. To us, either they were women of the town or they were concubines who also acted. But Ramakrishna encouraged us to actually look at them, respect them from a very, very fresh and new perspective. And thus, many years after Ramakrishna's demise, there has been a wonderful relationship between the theatre actor and Ramakrishna Mission. They gave them, and they continue to do so, they give them the respect that they need. Now, coming back to the Kali temple at Dakshineswar, the Dakshineswar Kali temple, which is beside Ganges, is very well located. There is a railway station, there is a metro station, roadways and waterways. So it is accessible. And a temple that has grown in strength. It is a temple of a feminine deity. It is a temple at a place which Rani Rashmani made this place into her space and a feminine space. There were many who wanted this temple to be used for commercial purposes, which is always done through the system of Pala. Anyone who is a Shivaite, who are descendants of the patrons, they have this privilege to spend and earn through the temple on the day they have Pala. Rani Rashmani did not have the Pala system. At a time when her sons-in-laws and daughters were thinking that they would be administrators after her, record says that a day before she died in 1861, she had prepared a deed. The trust deed system was not invoked till then, but she had prepared a will. And according to her will, after her, she named herself as the first Shivaite of Bhavutarini. In her record, it was Jagadeshwari. And from 1861 till 1871, it was two daughters of Rashmani, Padmani, and Jagadamma, who were administrators of the temple. And since 1872, there were the grandsons of Rashmani who took up the administration. The feminine space that was created has been sustained, but again there is also a very obvious male presence now, because after 1872 there has not been any women in the trustee board and no women power. Dakshineswar temple has no official pandas. There are priests. These priests are descendants of the family of Ramakrishna. But this is a temple which is unique because a temple patronized by Shudras, whom we have been tutored to look upon and address as low caste. They prepare the roster and they decide how the Brahmin priests would conduct themselves in the temple. So if anyone would try and go to this temple, and I'm sure many in their visit to Kolkata would love to visit and should visit, because this is a temple which also allows, irrespective of religion, people to go in. There are Muslims, Christians, Parsis, temple without much problem. Now, when one gets into this temple, there is no harassment. And I very consciously use the word harassment because there are no pandas and no one will coerce one to say this is the amount of donation that you have to give. The entire place with a skywalk that is being built actually has got a facelift, and a popular serial at the Z television, which ran for 5 years, on Rani Rashmani, renewed our interest on Rani Rashmani, Ramakrishna, Madhusudan, the family, and of course, the strength called Goddess Kali, a feminine power. And on Goddess Kali, to make it very brief, because that will require another session, that if we go to any temple, Kali temple, we actually see Shiva beneath Kali's feet and the tongue coming out. Now, according to Shastras, and also the first Kali that was being actually the idol of Kali that was being made, and as stated in the Shastras, there is no Shiva beneath the feet. There is no tongue sticking out of Kali. Kali is a symbol of power with 4 hands who comes in to change the world and to try and see that there is an end of evil. So what we see today as Kali with Shiva beneath and the tongue sticking out, and the story in and tells us that she is ashamed of stepping into her husband's feet. That story also needs a relook from a very, very fresh perspective. Because it is not that she is ashamed. And in Tantra, we also have the concept of Ardhanarisha. So this entire concept of, just excuse me, I need to have some water. So this entire concept of Ardhanarisha also enables us to look at Kali not only as an exclusively feminine power or someone who is challenging male, but we look at Rani Rashmani as someone who epitomizes feminine space, and goddess Kali and the concept of Ardhanarishwar trying to make us understand the entire concept of gender equality, which is one of the important principles of one of the SDGs set by United Nations also. So this entire temple at Dakshineswar, it is not only a temple, it is not only a place, a premises which evokes respect. It is a study on gender, it is a study on humankind, it is a study on our own religion, which is rich because it tutors us to respect humankind and not restricts it only to a male-dominated society. We also have questions and we also have debates going on because there are male priests who dominates. But if one goes by the Dakshineswar Kali temple, then initiation into the Tantra system of Ramakrishna was also being done by a Bhairavi, a woman who was expert in Tantra. And Tantra believes in the equality of gender. Thank you very much, and I'm open to questions and discussions, please. And I don't actually speak it as questions. I'm sure all of you have a lot of inputs to enrich me, which will help me to continue with my study, so we can continue with the discussion. Suchitra ma'am, if you may please lead it.
Shomam, just there is one more question.
Yeah.
Just I want to know that it happens in a documentary call itself, no? That the Rasmani uh, keep a small Laddu Gopal and that the lake become.
Yes. And here is also that.
That time Ramakrishna Paramahansa he told her to that if your son become injured, so what you will do?
Exactly. Thank you. Sujitra ma'am. Thank you very much. Yes, this
Kindly
is the thing.
explain, kindly explain. This is a very special point.
This is a very, very precious one because,
Yes,
you know,
yes,
this temple, temples are not only places of visit for the devotees.
yes.
Temples are for devotees, visitors, faith healers, and even for the atheist also. Because temples are a wonderful learning process, whether you learn the architecture, whether you learn human relationships, and you learn new perspectives, and just to add it, I am a very, very common regular visitor to this temple, and here there are a lot of guardians who exactly say the way you just now spoke of the idol that got broken, and that was actually fixed because Ramakrishna said, you don't throw away your child. And I have heard on many occasions children saying that, so if our toys get broken, we will no more throw away, we will quick fix them and keep it as part of memory and as a part of the education that we gain from Ramakrishna. Yes,
Thank
we can
you.
discuss. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Actually, this is my curiosity to know the things because of I have heard also so many times this happened, and Ramakrishna Paramahansa he provide the solution of the things to Rani Rashmani that if your child become injured, so what you will be do. So that time so many people, those who oppose them, we cannot do worship of the broken like any portrait. So he said, no, he is not portrait. He is child. He is child of Anilas. So how he can? How she can do? So it is a very nice to listen you to, and we will definitely keep our next session also regarding another topic and another means like this time we are on topic of uh, a very beautiful topic. I cannot explain you. I cannot say you. Dakshineshwar Kali, definitely it's a place where you can go and just silently and calmly, if you sit down over there, you will be get each and everything from there. So in the same way, we will talk on another our goddesses. And I know very well that you have done the research on your topics, lots of goddesses, and you know very well about them. You provide us so many beautiful knowledge which we don't know about. Literally, we don't know about the timing periods, how it comes, how it goes. So that all scenarios you clear out us. So the whole Radhamai Parivar is thankful to you, and we wish. I'm just crossing my finger, and I wish that you come again, again, and again.
Thank you very much. It will be my pleasure because, just as a physical visit to a temple gives you peace of mind, talking on religion gives us a peace of mind. And Bengal, of course, has a lot of temples, specifically the Kali temples, and there are Kali Shadhoks. Just we have
Yes.
Ramakrishna one Sadhok, we have Ram Prasad Chain, we have Bama Kappa. With each temple, there is a Shadhana and a Shadhok, which also gives us
Other
an
Shoma, ma'am, one more thing I would like to know you. Especially the people ask me also that I'm from Kolkata. When I said I am from Kolkata, they ask me also. We are doing puja on Amavasya, especially of Kali Puja. So we are having some Rakha Kali, so many. So what is the reason behind it? You can say that energy level is high that time, or energy is itself of
After
Ma
that,
Kali.
once you perform the puja, and the next day, I mean, if there is ever, I'll send you a video on how these on Amavasya day the pujas are being done, so that you can share at a time when we are talking. See, this happens that as per the Tantra system, they say that the moment is so auspicious that there is concentration of lot of power. And this concentration of power generates new energy. And this new energy is also the beginning of new life, which is important for the continuity of the puja. And you know, on any Amavasya, it is like you have joggo, you light fire, and you invoke. And this entire process of invoking the goddess actually enables a new beginning. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Sumani. It's we get lots of Sarita Kapoor Mera Didi also is joined there. She is from also Kolkata Didi. She is also from Kolkata,
Okay.
and uh, my one of brother who has written today, Dr. Suma Datta. She provided us a very good, very important and knowledgeable things, which is very truthful for us. Or so many comments are there for you. So many comments that they very good and excited. They are all excited because अच्छी अच्छे चल हो तो बहुत
Yeah,
um,
I will discuss these with you and
Sarita Didi, Sarita, she is also from Kolkata and she write down that बहुत अच्छा लगा दीदी आपकी बातों को सुनकर. She also appreciate you that she feel very good uh, by your giving knowledge because there are so many things which we are going to do but we are unable to do. Why? Because we don't know what is the way and what is the right way. So source of energy and source of things. माँ काली दक्षिणेश्वर माँ काली का जो हमने देखा, it is a very nice one, and you have said us so many Ma Kali temples over there where the feminines are there, those who are going to be continue the work over there, and it's a very good knowledgeable for me us, and we always request to God, not request of mine, request to God and from the Radha Mai Parivar that you blessed by the Radha Rani and always you give us this kind of knowledge, this kind of each and everything which we don't know. And today is the Rath Yatra also. So now it, we are raining is already going to be start. So happy Rath Yatra to you also.
and this is what we call to be religious and spiritual connectivity, you know, that
Is there any connection?
on the day of Ratha Jatra that we are talking, and Ratha Jatra had such an important connotations and impact in the life of Rani Rashmani. Her first independent attachment to the connectivity to the external world, her wish fulfillment was through this Ratha Jatra, a silver chariot that she rode.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, this, and thank you so much for your whole soul information. Thank you so much, and we wish to come again along with a new
We will all.
Mark group. Okay. Thank you, Lily. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We all can leave now, ma'am.
Yes, 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 ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute.
Okay, I'm here.
One
I'm here.
minute. Somebody, आज हमने अभी देर से रथ यात्रा जगन्नाथ जी के दर्शन किए. Okay. Everybody is writing that today they have seen Rath Yatra. And today you are saying that it is a very precious day because today Rani Rashmani also started the day and celebrated today's day only. So everybody is writing you Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe.
Let there be peace and let there be happiness among all of us.
Thank you so much, Sumani. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I take the leave. Thank you.
Yes, yes. So बहुत अच्छा लगा. मे भी थोड़ा सा ब्लर रहा, बट हम सबको इतनी अच्छी जानकारी और बहुत अच्छे से हम लोगों ने देखा कि रानी रासमोनी आज के दिन भी इतने सुंदर तरीके से उन्होंने जो एक फैमिली शुरुआत की थी, वो शुरुआत कैसे रामकृष्ण परमहंस से होते हुए, विवेकानंद से होते हुए, और विमेन एम्पावरमेंट को देखे तो उसकी तरफ जाते हुए कितने अच्छे ढंग से हमें उन्होंने ईयर वाइज ईयर, टेम्पल वाइज टेम्पल, मंदिरों के साथ कैसे मंदिर बनते गए, कैसे जुड़ते गए, इन सब की जानकारी हम सबको मिली. और मैं आप सभी का धन्यवाद करती हूँ कि आप सबने आकर के बहुत मुझे आशीर्वाद दिया, और आपके इस आशीर्वाद के लिए मैं बहुत बहुत आभारी रहूंगी. श्री जी की आभारी रहूंगी कि श्री जी ने आज के दिन इतने अच्छे से, बहुत मैंने सोचा नहीं था कि इतनी जानकारियां मुझे मिलेंगी. मैं भी कोलकाता में ही रही हूँ और जानती भी हूँ, लेकिन ये जरूरी तो नहीं कि हर जगह जहाँ हम रहें वहाँ के बारे में हर एक चीज को हम जान सकें. कुछ चीजें होती हैं जैसे कि हम जिसे पढ़ते हैं उसे बहुत अच्छे से समझते हैं. तो वैसे ही ये सारी जानकारियां आज जो हमें मिली हैं ये हमारे लिए बहुत कीमती है. तो सभी का इसके लिए आभार करती हूँ, जुड़ने वालों के लिए सभी का, पृथ्वीराज भैया का. अब पृथ्वीराज भैया आ गए तो मुझे कोई टेंशन ही नहीं है, क्योंकि मुझे पता है कि राधा रानी के दरबार में जब पृथ्वीराज भैया आ जाते हैं तो हमारी सेवा हम बिल्कुल निश्चित हो जाते हैं. नमिता दीदी जय जय श्री राधे, सरिता दीदी जय जय श्री राधे. आप सभी को रथ यात्रा की हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं. और सभी को मैं एक कहूंगी कि आज हमें जो जानकारी मिली है और ईयर बाय ईयर कैसे कैसे क्या होता गया, इसे जब हम बाद में भी सुनेंगे ना तो हमें ये चीजें हमेशा याद रहेंगी कि हाँ हमने जो सुना था उसके अकॉर्डिंग अब तो हमारे पास, अब जैसा कि उन्होंने बताया भी कि अब तो काफी सुविधाएं हो चुकी हैं, मेट्रो की हो चुकी है, बसेस की हैं, इवन आप फेरी से जा सकते हैं. तो गंगा किनारे बहुत ही प्यारा सा ये दक्षिणेश्वर काली माँ काली का टेम्पल है. तो उसमें आप सभी, मैं कहूँगी जब भी कोलकाता जाएं दर्शन जरूर करें. और सभी मैं यही कहूँगी कि राधे 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 राधे, जय जय श्री राधे. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, आप सबका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.